Good morning.
Hello.
It's Wednesday already.
It is. How did that happen?
I don't know.
I was not prepared for this.
Yeah, yeah, because we don't do this every week, so we're not used to it.
No, no. Why to be so surprised from Oregon? Julie, right down the road. Actually, from me, a little farther from you, but she's local to the store.
Oh, okay.
Um, Natalie, good morning, everyone. Love my Wednesdays. Happy Woo Woo Wednesday from Amy. Still trying to figure out this echoing. We've had many weeks for no echoing, and now echoing.
I don't hear it on my end, the echoing.
You don't? Maybe I'm the only one. So if I am, I'll just be quiet and let everybody enjoy. But it's driving me nuts. I hear like other people talking. Natalie says didn't get to go to the museum where there are lots of earthbounds, and I have at least 2 pictures that I took that I'm going to put up. One, and it's funny, I'm going to go back through other ones and see if I can find more to share at some point. Because what I was expecting it to look like wasn't necessarily it. Marion's like, you actually got 2, and I'm like, what? Where?
Yeah, no, there were some people that came up and showed me. They got some good pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was good.
And Sue Emily, like, her hubby got a really good picture with the
Yeah, he did.
thing.
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and she's already listened to the podcast. So there was a new episode that released this morning. So if you need something
good.
to listen to.
Right. A little bit different.
Hello. Some of our friends from over on Twitch. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Sandy. Good morning, women and men.
Yeah, right.
Glad you could join us, Diane. Did you get any good pictures there? That was a fun event. Okay, good. Sandy says she doesn't hear the echo, so
Yeah,
me.
I don't hear that. Yeah, it's only you, so it's okay.
And it's not Mercury retrograde.
No, it's not.
Where are the people now? We're like, we're in the shadow.
Right.
From Solon. Hello, Miss Brooke. For those of you that have listened to last week's episode with the WTF letters, that extra voice was Miss Brooke.
Oh, you are so funny. I just laughed and laughed and laughed. That was great.
Let's see. Good morning, everybody. So what we can do is, after I go boot out a couple people real quick, because we don't care about your adult dating site, maybe show a couple pictures that I was able to catch. There we go. Thank you, guys. Wet echo, so it's just me, so I'm going to be quiet about it. And Karen said it really was fun to get a few pictures at the merry-go-round. And Amy says Brooke was really hysterical last week.
Truly, she was. Truly.
I would like to remind those who have to walk home to look both ways. So, without further ado, we will show. She was hilarious. Yeah. You have a fan club now, Brooke. So this was the first picture I noticed that I was pretty sure that I caught something. And this is down in the basement. When you go to the left and around the corner, the first door that was on the right, and you kind of go in there. This was in that boiler room area. And I was like, the rest of that picture is completely clear except for that hazy area right above the bucket.
And that's where the little boy was standing that poked one of the people that were at the museum on Sunday. Okay. And I think because if you could tell, it's not foggy very high up. So I think that's the little guy.
The little guy? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
And what's funny is off in one of these extra rooms, like we got to go a little farther into that basement this time than we had before. Like I didn't realize there was yet more last time.
Well, but don't forget the guys that were working when we were there last time weren't down there this time. So I
Right.
think that's why there was a little bit more freedom.
Um, there was like even farther back and off to the left, it opened up into an extra bathroom that they'd taken the toilet stalls out and just kind of was using that as storage. But the sinks were still there and worked. And I kind of felt like there would have been a little kid running around in there. So not too far off of this. And then on the opposite side of that room, it looked like have you ever seen those games online where it's a really cluttered room and the whole goal is like find three cats?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
This room is jam packed with like books, magazine, paints, paint rags, totes, fans, like so much stuff. And it kind of felt like there was a little person like running around in there and kind of stepping away. And I'm gonna have to go through those pictures again and show you, but I didn't really think there was anything there. So, I'm like, maybe I did catch the little one, after all. I kind of went down there when everybody went back upstairs and was listening to you talk. I'm like, let's see, who's kind of hanging around. Now this one, the one that I noticed was kind of in that back corner, that dark kind of blurry outline back there. And I'm like, Marianne, is this one? And you're like, yeah, and you actually have two.
And the other one's way bigger. I can't believe you missed that one.
I don't know. Like I said, my expectation of what I was going to find on the film. So that's why I'm like, I need to go back and look at my other pictures or have you go through them and see like there's one, there's one, there's one. Like, how did you miss all of these?
Right. And that's it. People look at a picture like that and go, yeah, no, there's nothing there. You're not going to see something that looks like Casper running around in your picture. This is the type of thing you're going to see. Fog or a blurry picture of something. That's the energy from the ghost that is there. These two were adults. These two were not children because
Okay.
they're higher up.
So Amy is wondering if that one in that back area is wearing a black sweatsuit.
I don't. I can't tell if that's a case or not. If I was down there when the picture was taken, maybe, but I can't. I see exactly what you see on here, and I don't see enough of a distinction on that to say that it's a clothes. I just see the energy. Just like somebody is going to say when they look at the bigger picture over the top of that pegboard or that bulletin board, they're going to say, "Well, there's his head right there." No, no, that's not. I going to. You, I think that's his mouth going. Ooh, you missed that.
I was reading comments over here, so half listening, and I'm like, "What mouth?"
Yeah, go to the pegboard.
Okay.
And look up, and you see the big gray blob, but look at the almost circle right on top of the pegboard. I think that's a ghost with its mouth open.
Huh. Interesting. So kind of peeking up.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And like this one wasn't the most clear. So that's why at first I passed it by, right? Because that first picture, everything was clear except for that little spot. This one, if I remember correctly, I was coming back up. I had hung out for a little bit. And my thought was, let me catch them unawares. So just kind of pull the phone out. And as I was walking, I was like, snap, 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 snap. So that's why this one isn't as focused and kind of blew this one away. But again, this morning, I was like, let me look again. And I'm like, I'm going to show Marianne that back corner. Actually, Amy was wondering if it was this one, but you already said there was a little boy above the bucket.
Right.
But she was wondering about
standing to the side of the bucket is where he is. I mean, he's not, his feet aren't in the bucket, but he's standing right next to it. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything in the back corners? Amy is wondering, like if that's where the tracksuit might be.
No, I would be curious to know. I would say maybe because I'm not sure what that material is. But if you go straight to the back, is that a mirror back there? What is that where it looks like there's a circle on it?
You know what? Let me see if I can pull up that original real quick.
Because I don't know what that is. If it's something that reflects light, then it's not a ghost. But if that is just a piece of wood or something, then I'm going to say something is there too. But it looks, I don't know if
On
that's
the far back wall.
correct. You see where the pipes are. Yeah, what is that? Is that a frame? What is that?
Um,
Is that a mirror?
I wouldn't say that it's a mirror. If it would be a mirror, it would be the backside, like the galvanized metal backside.
Okay.
But
I'm almost thinking something. I have to be honest. I've never felt a portal in that place, but
okay,
that could almost be a portal.
there we go. That way it's a little bit bigger for
Yeah,
everybody.
that could almost be a portal, but I didn't see that in person, so I don't know for sure.
Okay. So yeah.
Being that it was a full moon that day, it hadn't even peaked yet. It didn't peak till 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Mhm.
And we were all out of there by 5 o'clock. So I think that's probably why they got so many good pictures.
I'm just kind of looking through again, real quick. Especially that room, Marianne, if you remember that room right before you get in, the one that had all of the animals in it.
Yes.
Like I was always surprised. Nothing that I knew of was ever caught in that room.
No, I've never seen anything in that room. But let's face it, if one of them decides to sit on one of the horses or the dragons or the pigs or something, why would they go do it in that little closed in room? They'll go upstairs to the carousel and sit on one of those.
Right, right. And I had a little trouble. And that was the intro I wanted to use, guys. And I couldn't get it to work. I kind of made Marianne ride the carousel.
Yeah, I had no intentions of doing that. None.
One of the songs that can come up in the playlist is the song that we use in our intro. And I'm like, oh, that would be so awesome, Marianne. Go write it. And she's like, I'm like, go write it.
By the time Ted took a very strange picture of me, but by the time I was getting dizzy, and that thing goes really fast. What is
Yeah.
9 miles an hour? That's fast for a carousel. Oh God, Melissa, what are you showing?
I need to rewind this because your face in the very beginning when this gets started is fantastic. I'm not going to play the music because I don't want feedback from the speakers. And I'm like, yep, she hates me right now.
No, I didn't hate you.
I know, but still, like, look at your face. You're like,
let's get this over with.
Yeah. But she was going to let that keep going forever. I was kind of like,
I said, wrap it up. Let's go.
I thought like it would have a timer.
No, it didn't. They played as long as they want to.
Yeah, she was just standing there like I'm like, dude, we have
let's go. People are starting to come in. Let's get off the carousel. Right.
Yeah, but she said theirs moves at 9 miles an hour, and most move at like 2 or 3.
That's fast.
This thing was moving.
Right. And then on top of it, you're sitting there and the horses are going up and down in front of you and you're going this way. It's like, oh yeah, no. I was a roller coaster junkie at one point. That has changed, let me tell you.
We need to pick up on that. So I'm gonna have to still frame that side eye look and save it down. And Omega's great. You are not amused.
No, I was not amused at all.
Now, mind you, Ted and I are standing on like, this is such great blackmail.
Well, yeah, you two are outside watching us, right?
Tara had a fun time on it.
She went on it twice. She really liked it.
Let's see.
What freaked Tara out is the first time she rode it, she was on a pig.
Oh, did she like
No, she was fine on the pig. The pig was going up and down. And when she came out, the gal that was hosting us there, she told Ted, she says, that's the pig from Charlotte's Web, because they do little fantasy things. And Tara said, oh, okay. Then she says to Tara, did you find the spider? Tara freaked out. Tara doesn't do spiders. She goes, oh my God, there was a spider on it. She goes, painted, not live spider. Tara said, I would have been off that I would have jumped off if I saw a spider on it. So.
Oh, right. Well, and at first that miscommunication where I'm like, that is an ugly looking pig. And I was talking about the one by the women's bathroom. Oh. That thing, is just not a happy look. And I'm like, who would ever put their kid on this? And she's like, well, it's based off Charlotte's Web. And I'm like, I don't remember that pig ever looking like that. I'm like, the one by the bathroom? She's like, no. And I'm like, that's the one that's creepy.
Right.
But it was a fun day. I got a kick out of the outside where they had skeletons climbing up the outside of the building. I thought that was fun.
Which the last time we were there was May 1st. The gal looked it up because we weren't exactly sure, and it was May 1st. But when I walked in this time, they had done all the decorations for Halloween. They had skeletons riding everything everywhere.
And they had a 12-footer.
Yeah.
So like, you're my people.
Yes, there you go. Pretty cool. So.
Well, and what she was saying, though, too, that wasn't even all of what they originally had up. They had more, but had to take down some because they got a phone call for a production company, and this wasn't going to air until like spring next year. So they were having to take down really quick and move and try to hide things out of camera shot. But there had been more.
Yeah.
But it was a fun time. And Karen, said lots of blurry pictures, paint room, and next to it a bit. The paint room.
Blurry pictures are probably something. I mean, do it this way. If the whole picture is blurry, no, that was you moving it and it was wrong. But if you see crystal clear things and then one thing blurry, there you go. That's the energy from somebody there.
Right. Omega said that paint room said she sees the mouth. I think this room reminds me of the attic above my high school theater. We stored all the props up there. My classmates at the time would always talk about how the record player up there would occasionally play on its own and various props would disappear and reappear. Everyone often joked that it was a friendly ghost named Bob.
That's unusual because most people name their ghost George. But high school theater, drama clubs, college theaters, they are packed, let alone real theaters. So, yeah, I'm sure there was business going on up there.
Mm-hmm. But it was fun. We have not secured another date out there yet because it's the end of the year and we've got a lot.
We have time. Yeah.
Pam wants to know if you crossed any of the people over, any of the ghosts.
No, but during the talk, I did say if they wanted to go, how they could go. The Carousel Museum likes the ghosts there. They actually have their own group that does ghost hunting in there. That's part of the Carousel Museum. They like their ghosts. They make money on their ghosts. We probably would have never done that if we didn't know there were ghosts there. So why would they want to get rid of them? But there were a couple. There was one girl named Lily. She was 17. One ghost, and she definitely wanted to go. And I said, come up and listen to the talk. I says, you'll find out how to do it. Because I promised I wouldn't make the light and let anybody go.
Mm-hmm. Jackie was with us. She said the museum was awesome. My husband and I felt a few ghosts downstairs.
Yeah, I believe your husband was right. I'm sure he did.
Now, do you remember, Marianne, were there any of the same ghosts this time as opposed to the last time we were there?
No, there were different ones. But then, of course, some of the ghosts came in with some of the guests that came. So, those would have been new to it. And no, as a matter of fact, you were a prime example of that, because the first time we were there, you got really dizzy. And
Mhm.
this time that did not happen to you. But there were more women ghosts there this time than men. But I thought it was really interesting because in May, when we were there last time, all the men that work there, the carvers and everything, that everybody that does the work on the carousel, the guys were there. I think we were there on a Saturday, not a Sunday. So they
I
were
think so.
working. And no guys that work there were there this time. I'm wondering if the guy ghosts were with the guy workers.
That could be. And that's one reason why I went exploring on my own, because I was noticing I wasn't having to leave, because I had to go outside like 2 or 3 times last time and just kind of clear my head because I kept getting like dizzy. This time, not a problem. And I'm like, what is the difference? And in my head, I'm, like, they don't have, or they did not have last time any like air fresheners or, scents going on. So, this time that was not the case. It was set up the same way. Some of the horses change, but I mean, the layout was the same. They literally pick it up from here and put another one right here. So it's not, you know, so I'm like, well, let me go downstairs by myself and see if I have a problem. And, didn't. So that's why I'm like, what is the change? And there was even more people with us this time than last time. So you would have thought it would have been more
More,
crowded.
but it wasn't. No, no. And I think the other thing that was interesting too, we didn't do it this time, but last time there was an article in the Sandusky paper
Mm,
for
right.
advertising for it. I think we did it in combination with the carousel with the museum, but
Hmm.
we did not do that this time. And I'm wondering if, because they knew that there was going to be more people, if more of the ghosts that frequent didn't show up there because more people, more excitement, who knows. But
Right.
we didn't do it this time, so maybe that had something to do with it too.
Could be. I mean, but it was fun. Um, I wouldn't mind going back there, maybe sometime next year ish. I did ask her though, if we were lucky enough if they had the horse in house from Cedar Point.
Too
You know,
early.
no, and she said there's actually 3 of them, but only one of them is the cursed, haunted, horse. And Cedar Point now seems to want to keep that on property for whatever reason, even though she's like, we keep begging them not to because it's not stored properly. It's going to need fixing and, if not done well. But they're getting a kick, I guess, out of putting it in different places on the park. So if it's not on the carousel, they're sticking it in somebody's office. They're sticking it in an outside walkway area. So rather than taking care of this piece and letting these people who know how to upkeep, maintain, preserve, this artifact, Cedar Point's just having a ball. Because I was like, like, what would it be like the energy in the building if that cursed horse, first of all, is it really Marianne? Second of all, is it going to change the whole atmosphere of the place, or do you have to be right next to it?
Right.
But it wasn't there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know the park is still open because you have your Hollow weekends going on, but I just wondered if they were
Yeah.
starting to put down that
We
stuff.
would have to go to the museum before Cedar Point opens or after they close everything for the season. That would be the only way we would catch that horse there if they ever bring it back now. Who knows?
Right.
And they must be advertising it as cursed or something and using it for advertising at Cedar Point.
They might have caught on to that now.
Yeah,
Before it was just kind of one of those local, legend, things. And I
right.
remember last year asking them about it, and they're like, "Yeah, it's got some history to it," but it wasn't in house then because we were there in April. Cedar Point is already gearing up for opening.
Yes, right,
It wasn't there this time because Cedar Point hadn't brought it back yet. They're
right.
having too much fun with it.
And in all honesty, you hate to make events that far away from in bad weather or that time of the year because you never know what the weather's going to be like. So I don't
Well,
know if we'll ever catch it there or if they ever bring it back. Who
right.
knows?
if it needs repair,
Right.
because it's been left outside
Yes.
or in somebody's office and somebody gouged it or spilled coffee on it or
Took a picture on it and broke it. Yep.
yeah. Karen said it was fun on the carousel with the song, the Ghostbuster song.
I know. She purposely queued that one up for the big ride for the customers to go on it. Yeah, that was pretty. And I thought, gee, that's a really fancy version of it.
It could be some copyright play going on.
That's right.
Sandy wants to know how many hitchhikers came in.
There were probably 6 people that had ghosts attached to them that came in with them. And there was one that just wouldn't shut his mouth. And I don't normally, when I do an event like this, I don't normally pick on somebody in the audience. I don't do that.
Right.
But this ghost just kept saying, you got to tell her, you got to tell her. And I have no idea what this lady's name was, except the ghost told me. And I asked her, I looked at her and I said, is your name? And I said her name. And when she opened her eyes that big and just looked at me, I'm going, oh, yeah, he's right. That's her name. So
yeah, she was still talking about it downstairs because they went down. Oh, my God, how does she know that? And I just got to go ask her.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think? Do you know where you are? Do you know what you paid for?
Yeah, right. Did you come here for a reason? Right.
Did you help anybody with their ghosts at the museum?
I think that the gal, I think Lily, I think she will definitely cross over on her own. There's no doubt in my mind that she wanted to go. The lady that I sort of pointed out, it wasn't so much her that has the problem. It was her daughter that was with her that this ghost was actually tattling about. So I think we're going to be seeing him on Zoom pretty soon. So I think that's what's going to be happening. Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about that down in that basement because they were finishing up as I was going down. And when she was telling me the stories about the little one, and I'm like, this needs to be taken care of, this poor little one.
Yeah, exactly. The kid's like 2.5 years old. Let's do something here, folks. Right.
Right. Like, let's help this little guy out. And I think this was our friend. Yeah.
Yep, that's her. Exactly. What's I missed it. Good Polish last name. Okay. Good.
Brooke says Gabby Ghost getting the Marianne side eye.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he was there like a windmill, just shaking his hands. Look at me, look at me. Yeah, like,
whereas in my head, I'm like, I ain't got a shit.
That's right. And it's like, I'm not looking at
and the more you yell at me, the more I'm
going the other way, right?
I'm that person.
That's right, because it has to be my idea, not yours.
It's like if you would have asked, okay, sure, but now you're being a pest.
That's right. That's right.
Shut up.
But it worked out. I think they were there for a reason. Maybe they were curious and it was a pretty Sunday and there was nothing to do and it was going to be fun. But I think people show up there when something like this gets turned, when you figure this out. I think people are just supposed to be there for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to be there to get this information.
Mm-hmm. Well, Renee, so my sister came with 2 ghosts last year.
That's right.
She's like, thanks for sending them into the light.
And that was a different thing there because she came with them and they weren't carousel ghosts. They were personal ghosts. And yes, if they wanted to cross over, and they both did, and they went. Yeah, that surprised me because Renee has been on Zoom a number of times and we found ghosts in her house. But this was her sister that came with her, like I said, from Minnesota. And what surprised me, and maybe they wrote on the roof, because when I saw that they had 2 ghosts attached to them, I thought, oh my gosh, they drove. I wonder how much car trouble they had coming out. because that would be something that could easily happen when you've got ghosts riding with you. Most cars are electronic now, and they're going to affect that.
I was going to say they are so prone now versus the old.
Yeah, plain old gasoline. And so, yeah, this is, they didn't have any trouble. So these ghosts really wanted to go. So that was good. I think they were both disappointed though, because they have a father that hasn't quite gone where he's supposed to be yet. And I think when I said you have two, I think they were really hoping one was going to be Dad. But yeah, no, Dad's waiting for his wife, so he's going to cross over when she goes.
Well, you say normally it's the husbands that wait, right?
Yeah, the husbands are the ones that wait. The wives, they're done.
The hell on out.
They're done.
Let's see. Karen's like, when is the next adventure?
Yeah, well, winter's coming. Ted and I just made, we're going to have an event the first Sunday in December in Middlebrook Heights. It'll be up this week on the website. Mm-hmm. And that'll be the last one outside of Goddess Elite. I'll be there in December for a meet and greet.
I mean, the closest thing that we could do before wintertime is like at the end of the next book club, we could always do a little investigating in that office area and like find out who keeps turning on my lights.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Are you willing to go up that elevator? Because you say you haven't even been up that elevator yet.
No, I haven't been in the elevator and I haven't walked upstairs. I just had no reason to. But, we can get into the main hallways. We can't go into anybody else's offices, but and
I think there's definitely there's a portal there, so I think we can do something.
Okay. Yeah. So we can do something.
Book club is
coming up next Tuesday
on the 18th. Yeah, the 18th, and it's they serve bagels in heaven, and we'll do November 2, but this is going to be it, guys. If you want this to continue, you're going to have to start showing up, because we're not going to do this every month with 4 or 5 people. So, and I don't have the name of the book next month, and I don't know if you do or not, Melissa.
The Awoke Dreamer.
What is it?
The Awoke Dreamer. And this is by the lady who you were on her podcast. I don't have it here with me.
Okay. It should be good. Those gals are really good on their podcast. So I bet this is going to be a really good book. I haven't gotten it yet, but I will be getting it and reading it. So this is good.
Yes. So last call for anybody who, like Lori, anybody wanting to walk around in the office and investigate. The office area at least will be secured after Marianne gets done with it.
That's right.
Quit running up my electric bills.
That's right. We'll
my lights
here. Right. Get the seats up, and we'll make sure everything is cozy clean.
Yeah. So we're gonna.
Now you realize though we can't put a seat on the big door that we all walk in on.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just worried about my 2 office.
Okay. Yeah.
Everybody else can fend for themselves.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Especially the current owner, the building's up for sale. The current owner is now going to rent a space in those office areas and has decided and requested the bathroom keys back because they don't want to have to share a bathroom in the public space with the people. And I said, that's fine. When the new owner comes in, I'll just get it back from him. I'm your biggest rent payer. Like with me. So he can fend for himself.
Yeah, let him take care of himself. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, and that's what I have to say about that.
That's right.
Love watching, but good. And you know what, guys? Find friends who want to join in, like to really make this worthwhile. Marianne's driving a bit out. I'm spending time doing research on these books. Can I get them? How many? Can I get them in time? I put the money out up front for these books. Same thing with the events. So, we love our friends that show up, religiously for us, but we need more. Otherwise, it's just it's a lot of long hours, and to make it be worth less sleep.
Yeah, the
And
thing is
driving.
this, and we really thought there was going to be a difference because before Borders closed in Strongsville, the book club was there and I once a month, and there were like 150, 200 people that showed up every month. And we really thought when we finally found the space that we could do this again, we really thought that that would sort of migrate over. But, you know, guys, Strongsville and North Olmsted aren't that far apart. It 480 is a pretty clean shot. So,
Yeah. Well, you can even come up some of those back roads when it's not wintertime and
that's
get there
right.
even quicker. Um, let's see. They serve bagels in heaven, I think is out of stock, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any more in time for that. I've cut.
Amazon has them. They can get them
Yeah,
off Amazon too. Yeah.
I kind of cut back how many I was ordering because people were buying them elsewhere. So then I would have copies and copies of these books sitting on my shelves.
And you don't need them. So,
So yeah. Poodle Pants. Good morning, running late, but I am here.
good, good.
And I saw Westy's too, and I was gonna save Westy's question. Here we go. It says, if I run into a giant eagle and ask if there's an attachment, assuming I brought the ghost with me, can you take care of it?
If I had already told you you did and it went with you everywhere and we made an appointment to meet a giant eagle, sure, I could do that. But there's no guarantee your ghost is going to come with you. And do you know if your ghost wants to go or not?
Well,
Because I can make the light, but that doesn't mean they're going to go in.
see, that's where you make the hole in the floor and drop them through it. And
Yeah, that worked for a snake, not a person.
Let's see. And City, here she is. Here's her question. It says, the other day when I clicked my picture in the changing room, my camera captured a golden orange kind of ball. There was no lighting of that color in the room. Could that be a spirit?
It was probably an orb. And look at, if you still have the picture, look at it again and see if there's a design in the middle of the orange globe. If there is, enlarge it, because you probably took the picture on an electronic device, and you'll see a side profile or a face of who it is. It's probably a guardian angel, a spirit guide, or somebody that you know that died and is visiting. If it's blank, it's just a dust particle.
Melody says, love the Italian curse story. So that was today's episode that went live. Was it the intention of Gloria's mom alone that caused the curse, or could she have said something over the necklace?
She used the necklace as a focus to, in other words, when she was increasing the curse every month or reinforcing it, it was easier for her to picture in her mind the necklace so that, and hoping, I mean, she was she made sure that he always had that on so that if she put it on the necklace would be on him and it would affect him.
Yes. So a lot of people with the book club, you can join online on either one of our YouTube channels, as well as the Facebooks, the Book of Faces, and we'll be on Twitch as well.
And the book club, the people that are the book club that are online, you can ask questions. Melissa will ask me what the questions are, tell me what the questions are. So your questions can be answered.
Yeah. So, and Christine says, I may have to skip Development Circle if you guys do the Awake Dreamer. We will, and that's going to be November's book. So, let's see. Amy, she's like, I'd be there if I could, but Texas is a long drive. But just keep doing this on YouTube, because the YouTube helps. It helps keeping it moving. We just really need some of the local people to show up. Let's see. Karen's like, everybody needs to go to the book club, including all countries. I want this book club to keep going. Let's see here. Yeah, and Brooke said it sounded like Gloria's aunt put a lot of work into making that curse strong.
She did. And And in some countries in Europe, this is like second nature. I mean, you wake up in the morning, you have your cup of coffee, your cappuccino, and you have your list in front of you, and let's get this a little bit more, and this one a little bit more, and this. It's a morning ritual sometimes. So yeah, it's a way of life.
Yeah. Ben just says, I like the light on the floor idea. And Brooke's like, the magic light trapdoor.
Well, yeah, like I said, it works for somebody that is an animal. It's worked actually twice. It's worked for me now. Once was a snake, but yeah, no, but I've never been able to do that with a human. Never.
So the investigation in the office area after book club, there's questions asking if we're going to do it live.
We could, as long as we're all there, we may as well.
Yeah.
And then we'll put it up for podcast after that then, correct?
Yeah, for everybody who's not there,
we're doing it.
Kind of like what we did with the Stanley.
Well, we'll plan on doing it this Tuesday.
Right. We can do that. Melody says, I really love the book club, hoping it doesn't go away. So if you have friends that like reading, just say, hey, join in. Like, the only cost is the book. And if you can find it at the library and you're out of the area,
you don't even need to buy it. Right.
Yeah. We did have one young lady who even downloaded the digital copy.
Right.
Just read the book and be able to talk about it. That's
right.
Really what it is. Heather, would you ever consider doing the book club on any other day of the week, like Mondays or Thursdays? Part of that was trying to find schedule and time at the store for people to be able to come in, because we do a lot of classes and workshops, and to make sure it was consistent, like we knew like every third Tuesday without a problem, like was not going to be a problem. So
it's like something, I mean, between the two of us going through a schedule, deciding which would be the easiest day, we had to go with the store first because of so many things that you do there. And a lot of your things are done in the evening too, at the store, like a lot of your classes. So, and like, yeah, unfortunately, Tuesday was the only, I mean, we wanted to avoid a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday being a weekend, but Tuesday seemed like a pretty benign day, and it worked for both of us. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't see a change coming on that one.
Yeah. I don't generally work in the store on Wednesdays, and the stubborn part of me is like, I am not going in on my day off anywhere near work, even for a couple hours. And no.
Right.
No. Julia, I must have missed something. Are you moving Marcus out of the office area? I'm booting all of them out, because quit running up my electric bill. So yeah, quit it.
They're going.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Lori's like, we don't want you coming in.
That's right. Yeah. Out. Right.
Let's see.
Well, that'll make people that you have for your psychic fair happy, that do their work over there.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like we have a seance coming up with Greg on the 30th, and I'm sure that'll help not muddy up so much of not having to keep in-house out of the message area,
right.
and really concentrate on the messages for the paid people.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, good. We'll be doing it before then. So that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Let's see. Yeah, she said Craig will be happy. He will. Because I guess there's a little girl or something that really gives him issues.
Yes. Okay.
Kick him in the knee.
And it'll be interesting, because anybody that is there for the book club will be able to sense the ghosts that are there too. And they have people that have, the few people that do come, they know when somebody's there, probably because I'm staring at them, but that's beside the point. So I try not to do that. I'm trying to talk to you, but sort of look out of the corner of my eye that way. And I just,
It's funny. People are engaging with you about the book club. I'm watching your face. I'm watching where you're looking. I'm like, oh, there must be a little shit over there. Okay. Don't turn on my light. So just to be clear, yeah, book club is this coming Tuesday. I wanted to make sure the calendar. So this coming Tuesday,
The
7 o'clock. In person if you can, or online, any of the channels that you're currently watching on, it'll be there too. So join us, bring a friend. Anybody who likes reading and talking about what they read, bring them. Let's see. We don't do the book club on Zoom just because it's limited then to how many people can watch. So we broadcast it. You're watching on YouTube, just watch it on YouTube. Vicky wants to know how quickly you can make that white light appear.
One breath. I've done it for so many years. Just one breath, and there it is.
And Jules says, "Can Earthbound see angels? And if so, has anyone has they ever described them to you?"
I can't picture anybody. I don't remember any Earthbound spirit talking about angels, but however, they have talked about people that have crossed over that were relatives of the house I'm doing. So the people that own the house or the property got more information from somebody that crossed over. But none of them have ever described an angel. But I'm a real firm believer that you're not going to see an angel in front of you with wings and a halo, just like you're not going to see a ghost in front of you that looks like Casper. I think they're more human looking. I really think of Clarence from the Christmas movie that has just totally left my mind what it's called. But you lost it too. Come on, Brooke. You're usually the one that'll come up with it. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets
black and white,
That's it. And Christmas is coming. That's the movie.
It's a Wonderful Life. Is it that one?
Yes, It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah. That's it with Jimmy Stewart.
So we got a lot of trivia people. Brooke was first in, and then
Helen. Yeah, I figured she would be. You guys are good. Yeah, you guys are really good.
Omega says the ghost making bunny ears during the book club. In the act. I was once told that earthbounds are a lower vibration than an angel.
I don't believe that. I think that we are all on the same vibration with earthbound spirits. The angels, or anybody that's gone over or crossed into the light, I think they are, because they're positive and they don't have any of the negativity on them, they probably are a little higher up. But no, they're not lower vibration. I don't believe that.
Let's see. Melanie says she watched a very scary Krampus movie the other day. Krampus is a fun Christmas time being entity. Let's see. So Jules said the earthbounds in my house did tell you about my loved ones that had crossed over.
See, yeah, and I remember her house especially. She did. Here's the thing. If somebody had any kind of a gift, or, if you did any of this metaphysical work when you were alive and you stay earthbound, you're still going to be able to do it. You have the same personality. Mm-hmm. And so even though people didn't admit when they were alive that they were aware of either spirits that crossed over or earthbound spirits, they can still do it when they're dead. And that's why sometimes I can get more information like that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, Brooke loves Krampus too. Spirit Halloween this year has like a 6-foot animatronic Krampus, and I was hoping to catch one at the local store. And I'm like, that's going in the store for the season. And none of them have it. And I'm like, I don't want to have to order it online. Darn it. She says they have a Krampus on the shelf that moves around during Christmas instead of the elf.
Talk about scaring the crap out of your kids.
Well, every year I chuckle at that whole, like, instead of the elf on the shelf, how about the doll in the hall, and you find a creepy doll and you move it around the house to scare your kids.
That's what people are doing with Chucky.
Yeah. They got to meet your Chucky at the winery when
They did. Yeah, I brought famous Chucky with me. Yeah, what's the little girl's name that's creepy?
Who what?
There's a little creepy little girl doll.
Oh, Annabelle.
Annabelle. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not a fan of dolls. Um, let's see. Yeah, this just says the Spirit Halloween Krampus is amazing. None of the ones around here have it to see it. But I want hymns. So I may end up having to order him.
Did your black Christmas tree come?
It came yesterday.
Okay.
It arrived yesterday. So
All right.
there. And it's funny because I'm like, well, yeah, the employees are like, where do you want? Is this going home? Is this staying here? Is this? I'm like, let me think about it. Cause I also have to start planning for that Christmas connection at the IX Center, right? So I'm like, I have the traditional blue flocked, you get white crap all over you every year when you pop it up. And, and I'm like, that's going to have to go because you are required to decorate your whole area in Christmas if you're at the Christmas connection. So
where is that at? The IX?
Yeah, the IX Center.
When is that?
November 18th through the 20th.
Oh, just a weekend. Okay.
Yeah. So, trying to mentally prepare, how that's going to get set up and what it looks like. And you're even required to have carpeting or some sort of AstroTurf or something over your whole floor. So you don't.
Yeah, I've set up at the IX Center. Their list of regulations is ridiculous what they need and want you to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and as it is, I'm still trying to figure out like how this parking is going to work during setup. Like they make it sound like you have to pay to park there and the gate fee to even get into set up. And it's good for one trip. So if you have multiple trips to fill in, this 10 by 20 space, then you're paying every time.
Right, you come in and out. Yeah.
For the cost of my booth, my parking should be covered.
Yeah. And believe me, when we were set up, we had a really great spot. We were a corner booth, which was really nice, but there was trouble with the with wiring on the one corner, and I stopped one of the people that you're supposed to stop if you've got a problem, and I stopped him. He was on a golf cart, and I said, somebody's going to kill themselves here. I says, you better have somebody do something. He says, wow. He says, I'm going to have to get somebody. He says, but it's Sunday and they're in the union. It's going to cost an arm and a leg. They can't ask anybody to fix anything. Like they couldn't, if you know how to do it, they wouldn't ask you because you don't belong to the union. And it's really hard to set up at the IX Center. It truly is.
Yeah. So I just have to finish navigating all of these ins and outs and figure out how I'm going to make this work. It might be the time that I actually have to hook up the trailer.
I was going to say, take one trip in with the trailer and just park it and leave it, and that's it. Yep.
Yeah. So we'll figure this out. That's one of my tasks today is to finish kind of outlining, the plan of how to make this work on my day off. Gina, and I'm sure other people want to know, how is Ted doing?
We're doing better. They've got him on some pills that they're trying. So we're seeing how that's going. Because when you make an appointment, you have to wait forever now. And you make appointments for tests, you have to wait forever. So he's got some tests coming up, but we should probably, I think the last test was Halloween. So it's like great. And so that'll be the last test he has to see. So hopefully one of these tests will give him an answer. He's feeling better, so we're starting to do some more stuff, and it just do what you have to do.
Keep on keeping on.
That's right. That's all you can do.
Let's see. So for any of our new friends, or those that have nothing to do this Friday night and want to jump on Zoom.
That's right.
If you want to know if you have ghosts, earthbounds in your house, or negative energy or portals in Marianne, we have learned that you can see if there are fairies in the house on Zoom.
Yeah, I can, surprisingly, but I can.
This is how you join us. This is on Zoom. It is not broadcast out like what we're doing now. So the only people that are going to hear your story are the other 19 people that signed up to be there. Everybody gets their questions asked, and you get two, just two. We ask that you keep it kind of relevant to what is currently going on, because what happened when you were 10 means absolutely nothing with what's going on now. And to be respectful of other people's time who are patiently waiting to ask their questions. We start with the new people, the first timers first. Repeats are at the end. We start at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. We love our friends joining us from everywhere and willing to help everybody from everywhere, but please make sure you account for any time adjustment that needs to happen. So you're sitting at your computer the same time we are. Nobody under 18. So don't have your little one sitting on the couch next to you. Send them to play, off with another parent for ice cream, something. Just not sitting there. What am I forgetting, Marianne? So this coming Friday, there were 3 spaces left right before we went live.
Right. So grab them if you need them. And not, the next one is on the 24th, Monday the 24th.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess we're going to have to start saying Eastern time. I guess we're not going to have, we're not jumping back and forth with the time anymore in the fall now.
Oh,
they kicked out. Yeah, they kicked it out. I think this is it now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still on the calendar. I think the first Saturday in November that we go back to Eastern time, but they said no, we're not doing it. This is what we're keeping this. So I'm not sure anymore. They change everything, which is going to make the time zone totally different than what you're used to calling Arizona 2 hours behind, California 3 hours behind. Who knows? I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah. So sometimes Arizona was 3 hours behind and not 2. And
right. And now, so I don't know. So we have to wait and see, but keep aware of that. Yeah.
You can always Google and be like,
of course,
what time is it in Cleveland, Ohio? And
that's
then
right.
It'll give you the time difference.
That's right.
But yeah, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time is the start. So make sure you adjust accordingly. So yes, this coming Friday, and then again on the 24th, that link will get you to any Zoom that we have going on that has open availability. Please do not call my store all day saying it's broke, I can't get in Friday, help me, because it's not broke, it's just full.
That's the way that works.
Yes, we get so many phone calls. Every Friday we're like, and the phones are going to start for Marianne's Zoom, so be prepared. Here's what you're going to say.
Full.
Yes. But yeah, you'll be in the store December 17th, other than the book club.
Right. So I will also be on Coast to Coast on Halloween. Right. I will be on the first 2 hours, which is really an oxymoron, because Coast to Coast starts at 10 p.m. in Los Angeles. They're live, which means that I will be sitting at my desk at 1 a.m. November 1st for 2 hours answering questions.
That's right. So you have to do a time adjustment.
No, I do. And it really won't be Halloween for us, but it will be All Souls Day for us. Right. And then All Saints Day is the next day. So we got, that's a pretty good time period between the 31st and November 2nd. Mm-hmm. You got some activity there for sure. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's an eclipse too. I'd have to look for sure, but I think it's an eclipse the end of the month, at the next new moon or full moon or new moon, whatever it is, the new moon, I think. But yeah, we just had a full moon. The next new moon is an eclipse.
Heather says, I looked it up and the daylight savings time will not be discontinued until November of 2023. And
Thank
that's
you, Heather.
if the government passes the bill. Well, let's hope they do that. I will admit I am a fan of the fall back and fall, that extra hour of sleep.
Oh,
But
sure.
I
Who is?
just spring forward.
Yeah, yeah.
So give me extra sleep.
Okay, so there's still so. I don't know if they'll approve. Who knows? Who knows what those people think?
Men in fancy suits on the floor.
That's right.
Women in fancy suits.
That's right. That's right.
So keep it fall back forever. Yeah.
Yes.
Give me all the extra hours of sleep, please. Just yes. Oh, Marianne, did we forget anything? It's 11 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're good. We're going to we're actually going to say goodbye to you guys, and we're going to do a couple podcasts.
That's right.
Yeah, while we're together and it's quiet, we're going to go ahead and do it. Yeah. The cats are sleeping. The ice maker's turned off. Everything is good. Phones are off the hook.
Mine is sleeping. He's that lump there.
And if I was faced that way, you would see the other lump sleeping too.
It's like my poor chair has this permanent like divot where the cat sleeps in his window.
Right.
So, all right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us. And if you haven't, go take a listen to the podcast. And we'll see you next Wednesday.
Talk to you then. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.